Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, January 21, 2016 at 2:20 a.m. And the topic is the price of a barrel of oil. I'm going to tell you guys the truth, and I'll be a lot closer to it than those that will tell you today what they pay. And we know the price of oil is currently a little below $30. And there's another find. It's under part of Illinois in North Dakota. This is a large one. And if you again go back on some of my blogs 2 years ago, I indicated that. I indicated that that find was far larger than Saudi Arabia combined. And it was verified in the last 2 days that indeed it is larger. So, but the problem is the oil companies who found the oil, and because they say their price to recover and refine this oil is $80 a barrel, that is a crock. That is hogwash. Unless they're building the world's largest refinery, then that oil will not cost them $80 a barrel to pump, pipe, refine, and get it to your car. And I strongly disagree. And I have, over the years, between 65 and 2013, been working with first Gulf Oil, then, sadly, BP Oil. And then, amidst that time, was with Texaco and for a while Amoco. But here's my point. I have, over the years between 67 and 2013, been close to Gulf Oil Corporation and BP Oil Exploration and Texaco Oil Company, and I have a history of speaking my mind. And I speak my mind when I hear lies being told. Keep in mind, working for Gulf Oil, I found out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So BP bought Amoco. BP told its current dealers the name Amoco would remain. Everybody was happy, including me, because I had a BP. And the same was said when BP Oil bought Gulf Oil Corporation in 1980. The Gulf name was to remain for 13 years, 5 years with 2 4-year options, and the 2 4 years were already committed to. So 13 years, Gulf Oil should have remained flagged Gulf Oil, not BP. But they lied. The Gulf Oil flag was gone in the South in less than 2 years. And the reason it took that long is simply the changeover in the colors. So I brought this up at the BP Oil merger with Amoco years later. And I asked how I would be affected, because if they lied to thousands of dealers and jobbers in 1980, then what has changed that they wouldn't do it today that would prevent the same thing from happening that happened to me back then? And I was told shareholders. Of course, everybody knows the shareholders. So here's what I said at that meeting. I said, at that moment, I asked that if it meant the shareholders would earn a single dollar profit, then the change would occur. And he hesitated, and I won't call his name because he's a friend of mine. Ronnie's first name, but I won't give a last name, with BP Oil. And he said, yes, but we won't. And I called him on the carpet right there. And I was right. So then I held up a letter. And in the letter, it said, quote, from BP Oil, to remain profitable at the merger, at least 7,000 people with Amoco would lose their jobs. They didn't know I had that letter. So no one knew that I had the letter. Not BP, not Amoco, but another oil company got it to me, and I won't call the name. So the end result was between the dates of 2002 and 2003, all names changed. I had 3 BP oil convenience stores as competitors within 3 miles of me. After the name change, I had 13 competitors all flying the same flag in that same 3-mile range. Needless to say, the business went down the tubes right there. Most of those that reflagged from Amoco to BP were company-owned stores, and they are not supposed to compete with dealers, but they did. BP has a history of doing that. And that's all facts. So 1969 to 1977, I was involved with BP and Gulf Oil inside the company. I had detailed information on management in the company and in the field. And the field was LaRousse, Louisiana, southwest of New Orleans, at the site of oil well Harain number 1 and Harain number 2. I laid my eyes on them. I went there and I stared at them, and I took pictures at them as BP was telling the world that there was no such thing. And the cost was around $16 to pump and refine a barrel of oil, which is 42 gallons. If drilling is not required and the well is still in operation, the only added cost is the cost to the major oil companies, their raises, their going from $16 to a barrel to 80, 90, and 100, and you know how high it got. That's going to happen again, and you bank on it, and it's not going to be long. We're going to be right back up, and because as you see, they're refusing to pump oil in South Dakota and Illinois because they want $80 a barrel to even get started. That's a ripoff. They're ripping everybody off in the friggin' world. Look, Saudi Arabia at $27 today. In fact, we're buying it less than that. They're still making hundreds of billions of dollars a month. So the cost was around $16 to pump and refine 42 gallons. If drilling is not required and the well is still in operation, the only added cost is the cost or profit all the major oil companies and OPEC sets and wants to put in their pocket. Thus the reason for over 100 to 150 billion profit in 1 year by one oil company, Exxon. Even at $30 a barrel, they make hundreds of millions of dollars per month rather than 15 or 5 to 10 to 15 billion per month. The oil would come from the ground and recover all drilling costs in 90 days after oil began to run from that well to the refinery. I know this like the back of my hand. I've been in it long enough. I know enough people that's still in the companies that still gives me information when I want it. That's the truth. Jody Wolf, Expoz.